Hey everybody, it's your crazy uncle talking. Time for us to sit down, have ourselves a drink, and let's talk about some serious shit. Now today, we're going to be going over SMV. What is SMV? It's called sexual marketplace value, i.e. how attractive you are and how to be attractive to the opposite sex, male, female. Now I'm going to run through these as fast as possible because there are some channels that will take one of these aspects and go on these huge rants, and I actually had to redo this video because I started to do that same thing. I didn't want to. There's just a lot of information attached to it. But I just want you to understand the basics of it. Okay? Men, your SMV. Your SMV comes down to for everybody, it's physical, emotional, also spiritual and mental. And with us, our physical is actually split into two. Now, the physical is one, your physique itself. How fit are you? And by the way, male or female, doesn't matter. You will, immediately when you see somebody, bring your eyes down to their core so that your eyes can perceive that person from top of the head to the bottom of the feet. This is what happens. This is why if somebody has a 6-pack, an 8-pack, a friggin' whole case of beer, doesn't matter, you notice that instantly. For women, that's why we notice if you have a flat or fat stomach. But we'll get to women in a second. For men, your person, your physicality is right up there, number one, because we're visual creatures. Men and women, we're both visual creatures, so we look at the physical first. After that, for men, physical as in what material possessions do you have, as in own, not rent, and what's your liquidity, as in how much money do you have. This still falls into the physical. And before women try to freaking roast me in the comments, you can't tell me I'm wrong on this, because this is the number one thing that is attractive to women, is how much wealth you have in cash and how much in material. It is what it is. And this is why, guys, if you want to be seen with a high SMV, this is why the whole thing about driving a nice car, and Dave Chappelle said it the best, and I have trouble cutting in these videos, so I'm just going to say it. Men don't like nice cars. They have nice cars because women like nice cars. Because men are hunters, and the car is the bait. This is why I love comics, is because they actually spit more truth than you want to admit. Now, that's enough on the physical portion. Just understand that they're going to be looking at that very, very closely. This is also why you want to keep your car clean and your apartment clean. Now, with the emotional / spiritual, do you have to be overly religious? No. Being spiritual, yes. Can you have your faith and not be somebody going to the altar to pray every day or reading the Torah or whatever, the other book there that the Muslims read? I don't know. Oh, that's right. They read the Karen. Regardless, do you have to do that every week to be a spiritual or faithful person? No, you don't. Is it recommended for people who are getting spiritual? Yeah. To go at least once a month. I do recommend that. In any case, spirituality helps keep you level. Your emotional level for men is restricted. Okay? How stoic are you matters. Are you going to see a hot chicken? No. She's going to be turned off by that. Women want a stoic man because to them, they have to fight their way through your outer shell to get to the soft middle. By the way, having a soft middle, and I don't mean midsection, I mean having an actual care for people, like you actually give a shit about your family. And this is one of the reasons why women, and I know you do it, women will look at you and say, oh, he's such a hard motherfucker, and yet his dog comes up and he's all lovey-dovey to his dog, like, oh, good boy, and stuff like that. It shows that he actually can care, but they still have to fight through that shell. Why women want to chase that way, I don't. It blows my. Now, as far as the mental portion, you can be the smartest person on the planet. By the way, you should be smart. You should be listening to smart people. That's the key right there. You need to listen to people smarter than you. That is the key. You need to understand what they're talking about. If that means you have to realize that a lot of the shit you've been told through your life is bullshit, oh fucking well. That's the way it is. Now, does that mean you have to go through 20 years of indoctrination? From pre-K to MD? Well, if you want to be an actual MD, as in an actual doctor, unfortunately you do. But for the most of it, women want to see that little piece of paper that says, I can regurgitate what somebody tells me, or I can bullshit my way through. Literally, that's what it says, because out of the 300 plus degrees out there, you know how many of them actually pay, and pay well? 16. And almost, actually no, I take it back, they're exclusively in the STEM field. That's excluding things like medical school. I'm just talking about college. Just college, university. I'm not talking about additional law school or whatever. I'm talking about just college. So I do recommend that y'all look that up. But regardless, your SMV, women want to see you with a degree. Why? They want it as a talking point to make themselves look good. Oi. Women. The most successful people on this planet never finished college. I'm not even kidding. You can look it up. Tesla was kicked out. Einstein was kicked out. Fucking Elon Musk, I think he didn't even finish his college. Somebody can hit me in the comments on that, because honestly I don't care. I just actually care that he does the right thing. So keep that in mind. However, men, don't be surprised if when you tell them you didn't go to college, they get that almost, I'm sorry, I feel ashamed of you kind of look on their face. Don't even let that bother you. Stay stoic. So that's the men's side. I'm starting to go deep into this. I'm going to go on the women's side. Here's the SMV for you. 1, since we're visual creatures, and there's a reason why this is number 1, you need to be in shape. And by the way, round is not a shape. Okay? If you think round is a shape, well, you're using a different finger to be number 1. Does that mean you have to be cut? No. Do you need to be in some sort of physically good shape? Yes. Some women are naturally born that way, and they stay that way. That is why you get a lot of women getting like, oh, look at that skinny bitch. Well, that's just jealousy, okay? If you say, oh, that skinny bitch or whatever, that's just turn your eyes green and be done with it, bitch. Regardless, we as men, the very first thing we see is your physicality. Why? Because we need to be able to get it up. If we need to down blue pills and throw blindfolds on and hold our hands behind our back just to be inside you, no. Just no. No. So, get your sorry butt in the gym, start running, and by the way, just as a side note, no matter what type of shape you're in, when you go in the gym, nobody judges you. Except maybe other females. Us men, as long as you're trying to become better, we respect you. And by the way, I did another video about that with respect. It plays in hugely with men. Now, I'm going to go past the fitness portion, and I also want to go into the other physical portion. For men, it was material and money. For women, we don't care about your material possessions. Not really. If you have your own car, great. Or your own transportation, that's great. Not a requirement. Do you need to have a lot of money? No. However, on that same coin, if you have a shit ton of debt, The only thing left of that guy is going to be a vapor trail. He's gone. He's out of here. He's out of here like the Flash on meth. I mean, just crazy. He's just gone. Okay, we are not paying your debts. Now, if you dodge around this subject, you're going to make him question. And by the way, this has happened where marriages have actually been annulled because the woman did not disclose that she was in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt before they got married. No, you need to disclose this. However, if you're going to go into debt, if you're pre-college ladies, you better really think about the degree you're going to go get. If you're going to get a degree, you need to really think about that close. Because if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Now, as far as emotional and spiritual, we would prefer one of you to be a little bit spiritual at least, because usually that means a better person. As far as emotional and mental, we just don't want you to be nuts, okay? We don't want to come home after working a double shift and you, oh my God, I had a dream that you cheated on me. And next thing you know, we're getting something very large and very heavy chucked at us. Or, God help us, something sharp and pointy thrown at us. Okay, if you have a bad emotional state, if you get very emotional at things at the drop of a hat, or you cannot deal with the mental issues that come up during the day, and you're constantly frustrated and you have to take it out on somebody, and you want to take it out on the guy, again, we're gone. Okay? Energizer Bunny on a Sears Die Hard. Just gone. Out of here. Just, no. We're done. This is why you keep hearing guys going, if we filter through, we're not going too short, too tall, too this. We're not. No, too crazy, too crazy, too crazy, too crazy. That's the only filter we got. Except for too crazy, mountain of fucking debt, too crazy, too crazy. Yeah, those will be our filters right there. Keep that in mind. As women, as long as you keep yourself in shape, are not in debt, and are emotionally and mentally stable, you have become a very, very attractive. You have just taken whatever area you're at, whatever number you're at, and with your keeping yourself out of debt and keeping yourself emotionally, mentally, you've actually raised your number. So if you're a 6, you just probably raised to an 8, 8.5 maybe. Now, I will say this, if you are a strict lady when it comes to, who enters, then, they say no hymen, no diamond. That's making the rounds nowadays. There's a reason behind that. Now, if you're a teenager and you're watching this, and you're actually planning on getting married to your high school sweetheart, and you're both going to be your first on your wedding night, that is some serious fucking respect right there. Seriously. That being said, life happens. Okay? I can't blame somebody for accidents, but I can say you will have to pay for them. Now, if you want more in this to see where you actually are on that scale, what's your status for men, go on Terrence Pop, and he did one called Status Check, and he actually calculates this. Okay? For women, he has another video, but off the top of my head, I can't remember what it is. Where he actually calculates you, and there's actually a lot more with the women. Okay, that's why you perceive us as being shallow. No. And that's why, being a realist, a male realist, we realize that you're not nearly as deep as you think. In truth, none of us are all that deep. So anyway, I've been ranting for too long. If you're listening to this while driving, I hope maybe you got a chuckle or two out of this. If nothing else, I hope you all learned something. But for right now, this is your crazy uncle. I'm out.